Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the Keep It Open podcast. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mitchell.
And today we're going to start it off. We're going to get right into it with Is It Rude?
Thanks for bringing it up, Aaron. I love doing these. And today I was hoping we could talk about potlucks. So,
okay.
As we get closer to Thanksgiving, the day that we're recording this, we're about, a little more than a week out from Thanksgiving.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, I can't either. And I actually haven't been to a potluck, I think, since COVID started, which is, I think I used to go to them through work or friends and stuff. But I think a lot of people have been hesitant to even now to kind of get together. So,
oh, absolutely.
Anyway, so for potlucks, I've always been under the impression like you don't ever want to be the guy who brings a bottle of Coke and a bottle of Sprite, everybody's bringing homemade mac and cheese or a turkey or something.
Sure.
You roll up with 2-liter bottles of soda and, or the person who brings like plastic forks and knives.
Right.
But really around
just bringing recyclables.
yeah. Or even like a store-bought pie or something. I feel like it's kind of on the fence.
It's like, look, the store-bought pie, like, side note, like, it's totally passable, but like we all know that you forgot to cook, like,
it's even worse if you're like, oh no, I totally remembered, but this was the
this I'm saving this.
I plan to do this.
I'm saving you guys for my cooking, which is also valid, right? Though, like, if you're not a good cook, then maybe just get the store-bought pie. But
I guess if it's if it's one of those that you sign up for though, where it's like, sign up your name and then sign up for something that you're bringing, the person who picks turkey or like unfortunately gets turkey kind of gets the shaft,
yeah,
it's
man,
either like
turkey,
super expensive to buy it or terrible.
It takes forever to fucking cook.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's intense. And if you screw it up, it's just miserable.
I'd almost rather be the bring a 6-pack beer to the potluck kind of guy.
I'm the bring the alcohol guy. That's
okay.
Yeah,
that's 100%. An easy one.
100%.
Not the cheapest route, but
no, but the easiest route. But you can't go wrong. You literally just have to hit people up and figure out what the general consensus is. We got a lot of beer drinkers, we got wine drinkers, liquor, maybe get a little, hodgepodge of all of it.
Then you're in good spirits with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Because you brought
Unlike
the booze.
The Coke and Sprite guy. The Coke and Sprite guy is...
He's on his way out, man. Soda is less and less popular every single year, okay?
That's true,
like
man.
everyone's switching to LaCroix and like sparkling water, which I am trying to do myself. So I support it.
Yeah, sparkling water kind of guy. It's got a little too much of a bite for me.
Yeah, I love that. Honest. I love that, and it curbs my desire for soda. Because it's like the carbonation in the soda is almost as good as the sugar. I don't know. Maybe people disagree, but that's how I feel about it.
Oh man, yeah. With potlucks, I gotta say, I also, on the bottom of the tier list, I'd also say is people who like just bring cookies or something, like cookies or brownies. That seems like almost so what is the easy way out there?
So then where's the bar, Mitchell? Where's the bar of
like you'd ask. I'd say turkey's on top, man.
Of
turkey and ham. If you cook the protein, that's super hard.
Okay. That's also a commitment, like we said, right? Like not everyone is a skilled cook.
No, yeah. And you need to have done a turkey before. If it's your first go at a turkey, I would not sign up for
Don't bring it to a potluck. Yeah, please don't. Please don't. Keep that at the home kitchen. Guys, that at the home kitchen. Yeah.
Then I think it goes to probably savory sides, mac and cheese, casserole, green bean casserole.
Yeah.
Stuff
sure,
like
some Brussels sprouts maybe with some bacon. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. This is a rough conversation, man.
Then really it goes, I would say desserts after that.
Okay.
Desserts, like homemade desserts. And then the bottom is anything just kind of bought. Like soda, store-bought desserts.
Pies,
people sometimes I've seen like chips at a Thanksgiving potluck, and I'm like, whoa, who brought the sour cream and onion Lay's?
Really big spender, really.
Yeah, geez.
Really went all out, my man.
For something else too, because I'd say that's my tier list.
Yeah,
alcohol is interesting because if you take the time to figure out what everybody likes and do that, it's a little more meaningful.
Okay. So, is it rude to bring a store-bought pie to a potluck?
Ooh.
Is that kind of what we're drilling down on here? Like,
that might be the question.
Is it rude to not cook your own food for the potluck?
I think if you come with a store-bought pie, you got to also come with a phenomenal excuse. Like,
that's
hey,
fair.
I was making 2 pies and they both burned because I was cooking them at the same time. Therefore, I just brought this one.
The store was all out of apples. I was going to make 2 apple pies. They were out of apples.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You got to have a great excuse.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let us know. If you're
signing up for it and you bring a store-bought one, that's
rude. That's rude. That's okay.
Kind of rude.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd have to agree. If you're signing up for the potluck, put in the effort. Cook the damn food yourself. It tastes better when there's love in it, or hate.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. Put something in there. Put some emotion. Put some effort into it. God damn it.
Yeah. Speaking of comments, we've been getting a decent amount of traction on our recent Instagram posts.
You know, I remember we were talking about it the other day. The clip of the metaverse and companies being able to kind of police it themselves and deny you access for any reason they really desire. You don't even have to have broken a rule. They can just kind of, ban you, and then you have to go through the trouble of trying to get in touch with them and get unbanned, right? People were arguing about that, and there was a few comments. I couldn't tell if they were directed at us or if they were directed at each other in the comments. Did you feel the same way?
Because I was like, am I just having a hard time reading this? Like, are they mad at us? Are they mad at Meta, the company? Are they mad at the metaverse in general?
So the one thing I'll say right now is never read the comment section, guys, unless you're going for a laugh. People on the internet are insane. I actually, on that note, so there's this guy, he does really cool. I'll actually send you his videos, Mitch, if you want to check it out. He does really cool, like, photoshopped videos where it's like normal, like, video of like a college campus or a beach, people walking around, cars on the road, but then he cuts out the sky and puts like nebulas or like swirling, supernovas or like asteroid fields. So it's like reality overlaid with like space. And then he like casts, like, the way he does the light, it like looks like the blue nebula is like reflecting down onto the earth. It looks really cool. I was scrolling through his comment section because I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And I cannot tell you, it was probably at least 10% of the people in the comment section were asking, where is this? They could be trolling.
They could be trolling.
They could be
also
trolling.
Think that maybe they're one step ahead of us there. And maybe they're asking like, oh, this background is surely from a video game.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Where
in the metaverse?
Which video game? Yeah.
And then there was another, and I love kind of like analyzing the comments of these types of videos. And then there was another group of people that were just commenting fake with thumbs down. And so in my head, I started having a debate of who's worse. The people that are like, where is this? Because clearly they're not really dialed in the reality, or the people that are trying to call out that this is obviously fake. I think
that brings up a good point, man.
I think the people that are calling it fake are the worst. Are the worst commenter.
If there's no sarcasm behind it,
and just the word fake.
Yeah.
The thumbs down.
I wonder if it's been reported though. Also, like that brings up a good point about
fake news. Like,
yeah. What if this guy's account's being taken down and like he gets this automated,
awful.
Email from Facebook?
Dude, that'd be terrible. Can you imagine? Your account's been
reported.
That would be unbelievable. Yeah. So to read off some of these comments here. The first comment was, the metaverse isn't real. It's just a new version of Second Life. There is nothing to lose except time, and there's absolutely nothing to gain. Well, Keith R. Wright, you're gonna have a rude awakening, bud.
Also, Keith, if you're listening, we do love you though.
Yeah, we do love you.
Please keep listening.
Keith, to be honest with you, Mitch is new to this stuff. I really don't care whether or not you listen. You can tune out right now, buddy. Honestly, but I do value your opinion, so thank you for commenting. And then Biscuit and Cheese said, tell me you don't understand that they own the servers and can deny access to their servers. It isn't IRL, smartass. I don't understand that comment. Because that's what we were saying. I thought he was
is he agreeing with us, or is he saying the opposite?
I don't know.
I've still pondered that one.
That one doesn't make sense.
I was thinking about commenting back and saying,
can you clarify? Yeah, and then the next one was, of course they own their servers. Anyone who thinks this is even close to a good idea apparently doesn't know anything about the internet. I don't know if maybe they just took what we were saying out of context, which is possible, but I think I was pretty explicit in what I was saying in that clip.
I think so.
So maybe they just misunderstood what we were saying, which is obviously they're going to own their own servers. What we're trying to point out is
that's the dangerous part.
That's the dangerous part. And most people probably aren't going to go into this knowing that danger, right? So like the younger generation, I guess to clarify a little bit, the younger generation is pretty versed in the internet. We understand EULAs and we understand, basically it's kind of like what's the word, like employment at will, you know what I mean? Like you're part of this until you're not, either you break a rule or they think that you broke a rule, which has happened. I've had a friend who was banned in a game wrongfully and then had to go through a very lengthy process, I think about 2 months, getting in touch with people at the game studio through support tickets and all that stuff, finally got unbanned. So you know what I mean? Like, extrapolate that into the metaverse, and then that's like, it's like a credit card freeze for fraudulent activity, but like, up a couple tiers. So what we were trying to really talk about is, yes, we know that they are going to have control and we know that they're going to be in charge of this stuff. That's a danger. That's a problem. Because, like Mitch was saying, when a behemoth like Facebook comes in and tries to, build this brave new world and they're kind of in control of everything. Well, is that what we want? Is that good? Is that safe?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Cambridge Analytica might have something to say about that.
Man, they're going to steal all my Shiba Inu coin.
Yeah. Well, no need to do the accent here.
What you mean?
What are you trying to say with that accent?
First they came for my Doge and they came for my Shiba. Coming for all my meme dogs. I don't know what the accent is. But I think that kind of brings us to the topic that we'll, start with today. I don't know how long we'll stay on it, but kind of coming off of the discussion of virtual reality into the metaverse, we figured it made sense to kind of talk a little bit about NFTs and cryptocurrency at length. So yeah, Mitch, if you want to start us off, anything come to mind?
Yeah, I would say starting with kind of just the, crypto took the world by storm, I feel, really in 2018 is when Bitcoin, I think, really started blowing up, and that it became a mainstream word that even somebody like my parents in their 50s and people who are older, that generation up, started to find out about and be like, oh, what's this whole Bitcoin thing? And, I don't fully understand. Okay, have you ever seen those YouTube videos that are like Bitcoin explained in 5 levels? And then I'm like the 5th grader,
But then by the end of the video, you're still like, what?
right.
What just happened?
They lose you somewhere between like the 2nd and the 3rd. Like it's like between the teenager and the working professional.
It's also funny in a lot of those videos. I feel like they don't explain some foundational things. Like in a lot of those videos, like you watch it and you're like, okay, I gotta do a little bit more research now. Like I don't know. Yeah, they don't really get into it a lot of the time. So if anyone has a good video that really thoroughly explains crypto, feel free to comment, send it to us.
yeah. Because there's so much to be learned there, right? And I've listened to some podcasts about it. Yeah. Just the evolution of the technology and the innovation there. But it really took the storm in 2018 and it's kind of, I guess, stayed more or less mainstream since then and opened a lot of people up to investing in general, especially young people. Like if you've never known anything else and then this happened to hit you when you were 16, 17, 18, 20 years old, this is going to be your what you see as the future, right? So I would certainly say it's skewed to younger generations to feel and believe that this will work and one day, potentially replace other government currencies. But
certainly.
So that's kind of it really hit me hard in 2018. And I remember one of my friends, we were walking somewhere and it was all over the news. And he was like, dude, I just need somebody to tell me, what is a Bitcoin? And I was like, dude, I can't tell you. I don't know.
I can't tell you. Yeah, no. And it's wild too, because, you hear the stories about the guy that paid, what was it, like 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza before it was, and he had any value.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I knew people who, when in college they were buying fake IDs in like the mid 20 teens, like 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. And they were using to buy fake IDs. They were having to go through like this mysterious thing called a Bitcoin and having crazy. Buy a Bitcoin.
The fake ID market got on that shit quick. They're fucking rich.
Well, it was the kind of the black market sort of, It was coming from like China, and it was like, well, we don't want. Yeah, it was almost more secure because it's kind of an illegal activity, and you were you didn't want to be traced.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, who's going to trace a fake ID? But it happens, right? Like people busting, large organizations
of it. Yeah, they don't really care about Jimmy at the bar. Like,
right.
They'll just take it, cut it, and say, get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, they had to use Bitcoin to buy something else, which then funded the ID, and then like 2 to 4 weeks later, it showed up at your door.
Interesting. Yeah. No, it's very interesting, and I think like. Obviously that's definitely where a lot of people's minds jump to off the bat is, illegal, illicit activity with cryptocurrency. And the thing is now is that a lot of these exchanges are required to use KYC, know your customer. So when you go on Binance, when you go on Coinbase, probably even Gemini, I know that, what's the other one that Kraken, I think it's called. They all require know your customer. They didn't used to. So you used to just be able to make an account, put money in, buy crypto, cash it out to a wallet, and you were in the wind, like literally in the wind. Because you could pretty much use a fake name, you could use a generated email, and then you just have a wallet, you transfer it to that wallet, then you transfer it to another wallet, and then the paper trail's cold. Like they don't know where it went. You know what I mean? So now, especially with, I think once you start doing like decent sized transactions, Coinbase didn't have me do the fill out the know your customer form until I withdrew about $1,000 worth of crypto recently to put it just into cold storage. I'm holding on to some stuff. I don't plan on trading it right now. Based on like market forecasts, and I've been nerding out on this shit a little bit. I'll pull up a little wait, it's over here. I'll pull up a little thing right here and show you guys what I've been looking at and trying to understand, because it is kind of interesting. But so now they're trying to keep track of people's trades and people's money for tax reasons and money laundering and all that kind of stuff, because it is pretty easy to avoid taxes with crypto.
Certainly a breeding ground for if I were in the crime game, I would certainly be using cryptocurrency.
Of course. And not even the crime game. Even on Wall Street and hedge funds and quants and like all of the investment firms, like they use crypto too, because it's a very easy way of moving large amounts of money around with minimal scrutiny. Like you can track stuff down, but it's hard. It can be pretty difficult to do.
Now, have you heard about the Squid Game cryptocurrency?
Yeah, the rug pull.
yeah.
Hey, guys,
something like that, right?
This is not financial advice, but whenever you're investing in a cryptocurrency, check the liquidity. Don't invest in something that you can't cash out.
Make sure you can sell your your shares.
Don't buy something that has no shared value that you cannot cash out. Beware of rug pulls. They are everywhere right now. Yes. I'm glad you brought it up, because there's a ton of them. I mean, there are so many coins. I'll pull up another thing here in the center of the screen. Look at how many coins are right here. Look at all of these different cryptocurrencies, and there are more like every single day. So I think what I kind of want to talk about now is, which ones do you invest in? Well, truthfully, whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure that the liquidity is there and you're not getting yourself scammed. Do your research before putting your money into this stuff. Again, this is not financial advice. But find my perspective, find ones that have some real utility. Like find ones that, are actually going to provide something to society, right? Like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, those are meme coins. They literally they're not going to do anything. The company, the people that made them, there's no end goal. It's not some technology that's being worked on, or a service, or something that's going to go down in the future. It's literally just a meme that people
Aaron,
trade.
You were my financial advisor a couple of weeks ago when you told me to buy some more of that.
Yeah, 100%.
SHIB coin, and I put my life savings into.
Oh fuck, dude! I never told you. We're having some technical difficulties. We'll be right back. No, yeah. I mean, look, dude,
that makes sense though. Yeah.
And I mean, I have money in SHIB. I had money in Doge. Like, I still think SHIB's gonna go up, but that's a conversation for another day. So again, and like it's also fractions of a penny. So like if you have a little bit of money to throw around and you want to buy the ticket, take the ride, see where it goes, I mean, if you can afford to do that, be reasonable.
I would say a lot of financial advisors would equate that kind of thing. I mean, it's not much different than like a gambling
not at all
situation.
It is
right?
gambling.
If you can probably do a little more research on these kinds of things than something like a craps table in Vegas, but
you'd be surprised, man. People have broken down the statistics of gambling and like, oh yeah, it's nuts. Anyway,
that's true. True. But again, not being financial advice. A lot of people, I think a lot of financial advisors and personal finance gurus out there would say there's somewhere between like 1% and 5% of your net worth if you're feeling up to the risk is something safe to put in crypto. So if you're worth 10 grand, put 1,000 in, or $500 or something.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, again, like invest it, as with all investments and with gambling or anything where there is a risk of losing money, do it responsibly. Like, just how they have drink responsibly in the commercials, it's gamble responsibly, right? Like, don't just throw all your money and say, I really need this coin to fucking 100x and put all your eggs in that basket, because unless you are 100% sure and doing some illegal insider trading, like it's never a sure bet, I don't think. I'm also not a stocks trader. I'm not super knowledgeable on the crypto stuff. If you guys haven't gathered already, we're just kind of talking about this. We're not experts. We're just talking. So before you roast us to all hell,
we're probably idiots, actually. So.
Yeah, we probably sound like morons. But circling back to the point I was making about coins with utility, there's some really cool ones out there. One of the ones recently that looks really awesome is Meta Hero. I think I mentioned this to you, Mitchell. It's the company that's building the giant scanning machine, and you can scan in like super high res images of pretty much, anything, people, objects, animals. And, the idea is those things will then exist in the metaverse, and you could license out your avatar for a video game or a movie or... we were even talking about, like, let's say I have a really rare breed of dog that costs like $6,000. I could, scan that dog into the metaverse and then sell the rights of that dog to somebody who maybe couldn't afford a $6,000 dog IRL, but can afford it for a couple thousand X coin in the metaverse. And they can have a digital version of that dog that they always wanted. So there's some really interesting utility and like projects that are happening that use kind of crypto as their like funding in a sense, and their own currency to kind of power their blockchain and all this stuff. And again, like, we are not experts. I can never claim to be an expert. I'm trying to learn more about this stuff, but
it's even recently, a couple weeks ago, I forget the country, if it's Ecuador or El Salvador.
Okay.
But one of those countries made Bitcoin the an official currency within the country.
Smart.
And I heard the president on the radio on I was listening to NPR one day, I think, and the biggest, I think this could all be wrong, it could be misremembering, but the biggest export for that country was sending money back to, or maybe it was the import for that country was receiving money from people who work in other countries, sending money back to their families, right? So one of the biggest portions of their domestic revenue for the country was people sending money back, and that they're importing basically money from other places.
Interesting.
Maybe because the country doesn't the economy's in shambles or very corrupt or what have you. So whatever it is, a significant portion is coming from the outside, and previously they might do money orders or something like that, but if you can do that all digitally
in an instant
on a single currency, right? then it's a very smart move. Now the question is like whether or not Bitcoin is that right currency, but the idea philosophically is very good.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely one of the more stable. Oh, I disappeared. I went to get a drink, guys. I'll be right back. It's definitely one of the more stable coins out there, and it also has such a large value, like a market cap, that I think that, you know, it probably is one of the better coins to do it with. It's also one of the ones that's most widely adopted. So, you know, I mean, with name recognition and all of that stuff, and, you know, the white paper and just all of this, I think that Bitcoin probably is the best bet. I'm gonna figure out my technical difficulty here. I'm a ghost.
Okay. Yeah, I was just Googling on the news. So yeah, it said, you know, El Salvador becomes first nation to make Bitcoin legal tender. And so, you know, there are all these articles, people Google it yourself, don't take my word for it, but, you know, all these articles about there are more people using Bitcoin wallets than bank accounts in El Salvador, right? Like, and it could be a product of, you know, corruption of the banks and stuff like that. And luckily in the United States, we have very pretty trustworthy banks, but you know, it makes total sense there in those other countries to do something like this.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, again, it's so widely adopted now. Like, I actually was talking to an old coworker of mine, and he was telling me that basically they're gonna start paying employees in crypto. And
really,
yeah,
where at?
I don't actually want to say the name.
Okay, sure. No worries.
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this camera here. But one of the things that I found really interesting is I actually did it took me like 2 seconds. I did like a little music intro. They're doing like a blog about crypto, and they wanted to get like a music intro for it. And so I was asking like, hey, you know, what kind of agreement can we come to? You know, how much do you think would be in the budget for this? And he was like, I think they could probably throw you some crypto. And I was like, okay, depending on what coin it is and depending on how much and this, that, and, you know, the other, then, you know, that could definitely work. So I was more than willing to, you know, accept that. And I think that a couple years ago, I'd been like, no, I'll take cash.
Yeah, what's this black market business?
Yeah, it's like, you know, in the past, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna use this camera for now. Okay. It looks like my other one died on us. I have to figure that out. But yeah, so I think that you know, realistically, like, the acceptance rate of this stuff is going up higher and higher and higher. Name recognition and acceptance. And I mean, my mom, who's 72 years old, texted me the other day and said, "What's up with Shiba Inu?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
wow, she's past Bitcoin.
Yeah, she's past Bitcoin. She's got Ethereum. She's got Bitcoin.
Oh, dude, she's got her wallet stacked.
She's yeah. And so I literally was like, you know, this is before the first big jump that it had recently. And I was like, buy some. I was like, it's going to jump. And then, you know, it did. And now it's kind of leveled out a little bit. And, you know,
yeah, Aaron, the financial advisor.
That was the day it skyrocketed, man. I mean, it went up quite a bit that day or that week. But yeah. So, you know, I mean, a 72-year-old that has trouble, you know, signing into Netflix. Love you, Mom. But understands that she can go on her phone and purchase cryptocurrency and understands it at a high level. That it is, you know, it is a currency, it has value, So I think it's interesting, you know, how it's permeated the culture, you know?
Yeah. And kind of back on the, you know, at the country level, accepting it as a legal tender. You know, it philosophically, it makes sense to have sort of a universal currency, if you will, right? Like it's kind of the same idea as having a language, like a language that everybody understands and can communicate across the world, right? Like we can have financial transactions across the world without conversions and stuff like that. You know, things get and all digital, things get a lot simpler for everybody. And I think you can 100%. Bring some more equity to parts of the world that need it. Like, you know, Definitely. If you I remember this one story really stuck with me from several years ago, but I think it was from Kenya, and I heard it also on the radio. And it was basically about the story was about how Kenya, as a African country, had skipped the credit card phase of financial transactions, right? So they had like sort of a cash and coin type model, like many developed countries had. But with emerging technology a few years ago, instead of taking the step to move to card, and there's a lot of infrastructure associated with having to do that. Every restaurant, every retailer needs a card reader. Instead, they moved to cell phones, and so on a little flip phone, you could store money in a bank account and then use that phone to pay for things via text or what have you. And that was a few years ago, right? So
yeah, right. So
that technology is even dated today, right? Like that. Yeah. That seems like, I mean, Venmo would kill that in an instant today. But when you can do something like that and have a universal currency, right? Like crypto, it's like living in a single country across the world, right?
Yeah,
and provides ease, provides accessibility, and I think that it can be very good. I think that
also, like you said, the fact that it won't have to go through any conversions or anything like that, that's huge. I mean, just that alone is huge. Like, we're speaking the same financial language at that point. If we ever reach a point where we've kind of established like this is the currency that we're all going to kind of trade in,
right. And I don't know the negative impacts, like if
I'm not a finance,
the peso or something went away tomorrow and was replaced by a cryptocurrency along with the US dollar, like what downside does that have? What does that mean for the?
I'm sure that there is downsides again,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I would love to learn a little bit more about that. And I'm sure there's probably some videos out there that we might need to go watch, but it is interesting to think about, is there going to be a day in the future where, the conversation isn't, yo, can you spot me $15? It's, yo, can you spot me like a sandwich?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like, it won't be so much as like the value of the dollar defines what you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the value of what you're purchasing,
the product.
Yeah. Because
or service.
Because you can't go into a place and be like, damn, I need to get spotted for like a meal. And be like, yo, let me get 0.025834256785 Bitcoin.
Right.
Like, that's not going to work. Right.
Right.
Like, it would be more so along the lines of like, okay, I'm at this restaurant with you, Mitchell, and you want to like, let's say like lunch is on me. So we go to the checkout. I scan the thing because that's where it's going. I'm going to scan it on my phone, and then it's going to show me the bill. And then, I'll pay it, and then like, probably be able to split it and then send it to you and request your half of that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's not much different than what you can do now with things like Venmo or Cash App and stuff like that. But I think
it's like a mental shift too, right? Because it's like, it's understanding what you're going to purchase, and then, the math is going to be done for you. Like, I mean, not everyone's a math genius and can, just think about that, right? Like, I don't even know what Bitcoin's at today. Bitcoin's probably at like 60 something right now. Did it drop? I don't even know. Let's see. But you see my point? It's like,
yeah. Well, I think that
$59,983.29 for one Bitcoin. So then do all the math to scale that down to a $15 lunch.
Yeah, I think you could get into a world where though the Bitcoin is split up into smaller chunks, right? So you have like a proto Bitcoin or something, which is 1/10 of a Bitcoin or something,
I see what you're saying.
And then we get to basically a nickel dime penny situation, right? Quarter nickel dime penny.
But is there situation. A point? But like, is there a point in doing that? You see what I mean? Like, does that mess with the market cap? Does that mess with the liquidity of the Bitcoin? You see what I'm getting at? So like, yeah, it's like if you're not trading Bitcoin, then it has no utility. Therefore, its value will drop.
Right. I wonder if you could, take there's a finite amount of Bitcoin in the world. Right. Take a portion of that and split that into change, if you will.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that's an interesting idea. I wonder if that's been discussed anywhere yet. Because I'm kind of thinking about it now. Is like, how will that play? Right? Like, how will that be if we end up in a world where crypto really is like that? Like,
yeah, or Bitcoin it becomes the what do you call it when a currency is based on something?
Like a standard?
like a standard. Maybe a Bitcoin becomes a standard, but we continue to use US dollars, pesos, euros
to measure
relative to the Bitcoin or something, or to the whatever cryptocurrency is there. I was gonna
say, like right now, like we still measure the value of a Bitcoin against
off the US dollar.
US dollar, right? So it hasn't surpassed that. So it's kind of like, it's funny, like the US dollar it used to be on the gold standard, right? So gold backed up the dollar. Now nothing backs up the US dollar, but it backs up Bitcoin.
Other things, right?
So it's like the value cycle, in a sense, has like it's gone through a rotation. So
well, it's kind of scary. Also, that we can see just with that how quickly things can tumble if one block falls. You know, one thing falls, another, and then all of a sudden
we're in a recession.
Well, it's the apocalypse, probably.
Yo, you're not wrong, man. I mean, things can snowball very quickly, and also in a world, again, going back to our favorite topic of the ultra rich, in a world where not a lot of people, a very small amount of people control most of the world's wealth, they can manipulate markets and do all kinds of things to currency that we can't even imagine, right? Like, you know, these guys buying up hosts and hosts of crypto, like all these coins, like they can do massive
value,
massive manipulations to the market. I think I saw an article the other day about some Bitcoin, because all transactions are on the ledger, they're all public. So like you can go search your wallet on I think it's like Etherscan, or I forget the name of the site, but it'll show all the transactions that wallet's done. That's the whole point of the blockchain, is it's all public, right? Obviously none of your personal information is, it's a hashed wallet, but you know, that wallet's transactional data is public. And so someone found someone put like $8,000 into SHIB a while back, and when it jumped, their profit was like $4 billion or $5 billion, something insane.
What?
Yeah, it's something nuts. I can't remember the exact specifics, but they thought that someone had potentially lost the key to the wallet or access to the wallet, because nothing was happening, no transfers were being made, no trades were being made, nothing was going on. And then recently they saw that some activity was happening. You know, coins are being transferred to different wallets. I don't know what's going on there, but the whole point of the video is if this person cashed out all that they had, it would just tank the market. And so,
because I mean, how much of the entire SHIB share do they own? I
don't know the percentage
at that point, you know, like probably something pretty significant.
Probably something
even if it's 1%, right? Like
that's still enough to move the market, right? Yeah. And so it's a very interesting, again, like thing to kind of just like think about, is like, you know, overnight, like Joe Schmo, like you or I could just say fuck it and throw a bunch of money at one of these cryptos, and holy shit, you know, it hit, oh my god. And now I have you know, just an insane control over, you know, what could potentially happen to this coin. If I cash out right now and walk away with my X million, X billion dollars, what's that going to do to everybody else? Like,
yeah.
But hey, in the capitalistic world,
capitalistic world, that's right. Watch out for yourself, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. You paid to play, boys and girls.
Yeah. So how do you think this fits in with NFTs?
So one of the ways that I heard someone quantify it was you already are used to them. Skins in a video game, digital assets, right? Those are NFTs in a way, right? So now you're purchasing it with crypto, and you're putting it in a wallet, and you're storing it. And you know, right now it's art, but it's becoming utility. So there's a project called Bitcoin Miners, and they are NFTs, and they're images, they're drawn artwork of computers, but like they're graphic, like they have like faces and, you know, all kinds of other stuff. It's really cool looking. But they mine Bitcoin as NFTs.
They mine Bitcoin as NFTs.
I'll explain. So the company that is putting these NFTs on the market, they own a professional Bitcoin server farm, like a legit one, in a warehouse, like just, you know, hundreds of computers chugging along every single day. When you buy this NFT, in the smart contract, you get paid dividends on their farm in Bitcoin.
So you get paid for dividends on them producing Bitcoin.
Yes.
I'm having trouble. Well, so their product that they're putting out in the marketplace making money on is
an NFT. It's an NFT.
Okay.
So they're making the NFT, right? So the way that as far as I understand, the way that NFTs work is, let's say I create an NFT, right? I'm going to get a percentage every time that NFT is resold, right? So I sell it to you for $1,000. I think I get like 5% of that 1,000.
Do you set that rate, or is that just?
I think it's like there's like a standard. There's like a standard, yeah.
Okay.
But so for hypothetical sake, let's just go with that, right? So 5% royalty. I sell it to you for 1,000. I get 5%. You sell it to the next guy for 5,000. I get 5%. The next guy sells it for 20,000. I get 5%. So on and so forth in perpetuity.
Right.
So I'm getting paid every time that NFT changes hands. And the person who holds it is inclined to buy it at a scaling price because they, by holding it, start to earn passive income. There's another one. It's one of the I can't remember the name right now. It's one of the gorillas. And if you hold it, it sold for almost $1 million.
Talking about Harambe? It's the only gorilla I know. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's good, man. R.I.P. Harambe.
R.I.P. Yeah.
But when you hold this NFT, and so some people are like, why the hell would it sell for $1 million? That's insane. Because it's like kind of like 8-bit art. It's cool for sure. But the reason that it sold for that much, aside from some other benefits, the main one is that when you hold it in your wallet, you passively get, because of the smart contract embedded in the code of the NFT, you get 10 banana coin every day. Banana coin, at the time that I watched this little video, was trading at like $47 per coin. So in a year, you're making $175-ish thousand just having that NFT in your digital wallet.
What?
Yeah. So
that's madness.
So you have that coin for, about 200,000, 4 or 5 years, and you've made back your investment. And the price of that NFT is probably going up another $1 million.
So wait, explain to me
the price of banana coin is going up.
Sure. But you're probably the only one with banana coin.
Maybe. I mean, but
it has value, right?
It has value.
Enough people have it to be worth $47.
$47, yeah. It could go up.
So I understand everything you said, and I understand why, but except for the code that's embedded in the NFT.
Smart contracts.
Smart contracts.
Yeah.
What is smart contracts? Is that a third party entity that's hosting all this?
It's like fundamental to the blockchain.
Okay.
So like,
can you give me the fifth grader explanation here?
So as far as I understand it, like pretty much everything that's happening on the blockchain, every transaction is a smart contract of some kind, and you can write more detail into them. But like, I could write a smart contract with you, and I could put a banana coin in there, and then the smart contract could say, pay Mitchell 10,000 SHIB if banana coin falls below $20 USD. But if banana coin goes above $100, Mitchell pays me X amount of SHIB. Again, right? Whatever. Bitcoin's probably a better example. Regardless of the currency, you can make a contract, and then it'll check based on that data, right? The smart contract will check every day. I don't even know the refresh rate. Probably every freaking second.
It's probably right.
Yeah.
Faster, yeah.
And then if one of the parameters is reached, it will execute autonomously.
So this code in the NFT, the Gorilla NFT, is likely check every 24 hours. If this remains in hosted wallet or whatever, then
deposit
10
banana coin.
Yeah, 10 banana coin or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. So Now, where is that banana coin coming from, though? Is it from the newly mined banana coin, or is it from some other existing?
I didn't look too far into it. I didn't look too far into it.
Like, let's say we put Bitcoin there, right?
Right.
Man, we're really in the weeds here now. But let's say we put Bitcoin in.
We're a little bit out of our depth, my friend.
Where is the Bitcoin coming from? Like, if you say, check every 24 hours, same code, instead of banana coin, it's 1 Bitcoin every day.
Oh God.
Like, is that 1 Bitcoin coming from some pre-existing wallet that because when you write
free
the code,
money. No, it's not free money. The way it's
right, it's not newly created.
It's being generated somewhere somehow in a way that everyone's winning. Like, no one's taking a loss for this shit. Like, it's all, you know what I mean? Like that 10 banana coin. Yeah, exactly. Like, the people that created that NFT probably are the ones that started banana coin.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? To go along with the NFT. Right.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know. I could be completely fucking wrong. If I am, please comment.
It's a good hypothesis
and tell me. Yeah, but because it goes hand in hand with the whole reason the blockchain miners is so successful. I went to their Discord and it's fucking popping. Like, it's fucking insane. But the reason it's so popular is because to mine Bitcoin, it is an insane investment. And there are lots of rings to jump through and all kinds of things that you have to do to actually set that shit up correctly. And I mean, just you got to build a freaking server farm, and I mean the electricity costs, and those things are hot, and like you need to put it in a place that like it's not going to blow the fuck up. And like
it's only taking longer for each one as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Adding to the blockchain, right?
And so basically, you and I, the average Joe, can mine Bitcoin by having an NFT. And it's kind of a win-win because the startup to actually mine enough Bitcoin to break even, like in a reasonable time frame, is insane, right? Like I'm saying. Now, I could build a single rig with like a couple GPUs, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that
might take you a couple years to build one. That
motherfucker's it's gonna take forever to net me some profit. Forever.
Yeah, let alone the energy that it takes, right?
I mean, I might not even ever net profit at this point. I don't know the actual numbers on this.
Right, you need to hit economies to scale when you're mining.
Exactly. So for me and you, buying an NFT that'll go up in value and has a utility like that makes sense, because I don't need to invest in the rig and the electricity and the maintenance and the upkeep and all the crazy shit. I can buy a cool ass NFT that's going to get more and more expensive over the years. It's going to go up in value because it mines Bitcoin. Now, the only downfall is if that company goes down or the server goes down or the server farm crashes or whatever the fuck. But, in a perfect world, it offers more than just being a piece of collector's art, right? Or like in the metaverse, something that you'll be able to display on your wall, or wear. Or a lot of the new NFTs are items in games.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, I think it's hard for a lot of people to swallow. I think when you're like, well, why would somebody pay for a digital asset like that? Why would you pay $5,000 for something like that? But I think the reason I'm so and I'm a Luddite for sure. You know what a Luddite is?
Clarify for us.
A Luddite is I don't know if this is the exact definition, but it's basically somebody who is hesitant to take on new technology. Like you're stuck in your old ways. Technology. Yeah, I'm still coal mining over here. I'm still burning wood for energy, and
everyone else is on like solar power.
exactly. And so, but the reason I'm able to accept this is knowing, having known sort of the history of a lot of art. Yeah. And so understanding that values are obscure and 100%. It's whatever people place value-wise onto this art.
Picasso's and worth like $20 million or some crazy shit. Like
and only have gone up over time, right? And depending on where the art is, well, first of all, who made it? If they're still alive, are they still making art? What's their style? How fast were they to get into this style? But also, like, who has held on to this art for the past whatever? Is it so exclusive that only a collector has had it for the past 20 years, or a specific museum, right? Something jumps in price if it's not for sale, right? Like then, and so that's why I'm able to swallow this, I think, so easily, but I guess I understand a lot of hesitancy of people when they're like, well, why would you,
yeah, and it's like that
why
guy,
does that digital currency have any value? Can't somebody just copy that?
It's
right?
like that guy in our comments who was saying the metaverse is just like Second Life. It's only a waste of time. There's no value in it. Well, buddy, I hate to break it to you, people didn't think there was any value in the internet. They thought it was only cool for, sending an email back and forth, or
for maybe even less, I think, in the early days.
Exactly, like for typing something, like, and then now look at it. I mean, the internet is a metaverse already.
We're already in a metaverse, right? And so I think that there are going to be on the metaverse thing and on NFTs and Bitcoin and everything. I mean, there are going to be early adopters. There are going to be companies in the beginning who fail too, right? Like, who's to say Facebook is the one who actually does this? Well, I mean, maybe Amazon comes through and builds another one. They're not really poised, I guess, as a company to do that. But, but there are going to be failures. There are going to be things. But I think it's important to talk about these principles and all this, because we're creating the new world, as we said in the last conversation, right? It's like, when the founding fathers created the Constitution stuff, that this discussion had to be made to plan for then, but also plan for a country that would still be around 1,000 years from now.
Right.
And arguable whether or not it does that. The Constitution does that, but that's why we have amendments, I guess. But when we're building this digital world, I think this is all stuff we have to think about. It's like a master plan society, not just for today, but for tomorrow. I think that's cryptocurrency is the kind of the start, I think. What value can we get from it today, but also
completely agree. And there's a lot of people that go a little bit off the deep end with it, like, well, the government already makes you work your whole life for a currency that they determine the worth of, and so DeFi is a way for you to take back your time and your value. And I mean, there is some truth in that. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, how this pans out and what this future looks like, because we are, like, I think I said this in the last episode when it came to the metaverse and virtual reality, is like, we are hurtling towards this. Like, it is happening. It is happening fast. And before we know it, we're going to look back and be like, I can't even remember a world without cryptocurrency or the metaverse. Like, think about,
it's hard to see it coming when you're in it.
Right. And just think, I mean, we say that, we say that now about our smartphones. We say that now about our iPhones and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. There are some people already, some probably younger people that'd be like, I don't know what I'd do without TikTok.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't know what I'd do without my screens. I'm addicted to them. And so, I can't imagine a time without my screens, because I got it at a very young age. I mean, I remember, Halo and N64 and like all that. I was there for all of that when it was like, when they were coming out. Like my parents let me wake up at like 5 a.m. one day to play Halo on release day for like an hour before I had to go to school. Like, but
that brings up, I mean, even that topic is interesting too. Like I remember I was having this conversation with somebody where I think I was using Google Maps for a very easy sort of directional thing that it was like 3 turns or something, and I would have been there. But I was like, I just want to have it on Maps just to be sure.
Yeah, sure.
And I think the person I was with was like, well, do you want to be so reliant on something like that? What if you don't have it? What if you're, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. But it's no different than, well, us driving in a car. It's like, why wouldn't we just try to walk there?
Sure.
If, if one day we didn't have a car, but we live life like based on the assumptions of the previous, generations, having built this for us already. And that will always have it, right? That's the only way to advance. Like if we all had to learn the hard way that the earth is that the sun is at the center of the solar system, right? Then we would get nowhere. We'd have to relearn all of, human society. So I think with the screens and stuff, man, it's like we're used to it now, but I think it's kind of the same situation, man. Like we should get used to it, as bad as it might be for us. Like we're not really going back to a world where they don't exist.
We're not going to go back to a world where we get away from screens, because they've just augmented so much of our lives. And I think for all the negatives, at the end of the day, it's still a positive thing.
Oh, there's so many. I mean, it's net is totally positive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. And so
I think it's going to be more of like a vacation thing when you get off a screen. It's like, well, I took a 1 day vacation.
I mean, dude, you can go on Amazon right now and you can buy a little box, like a time lock box that people use,
detox box.
Yeah, you put your phone in there. And you lock it up, and you say you say, cool, man, I'm gonna not touch my phone for an hour, and then 30 minutes in, you're in the kitchen, like
you're like itching,
smashing it like a like a Neanderthal, like a caveman.
You're like you need a screen. You're like looking at your microwave clock or something. Like,
hey Siri, please. Oh yeah, no, and so it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. And again, to reiterate, probably for the 5th time, we are not experts on any of this stuff, but we're just trying to bring it up and talk about it. I guess maybe from more of like an uneducated perspective, which a lot of people are going to be. Not everyone's going to be a crypto wizard and understand every little this, that, or the other thing about it. And I think that the more we can have these conversations, like you said, Mitchell, as we go forward, and kind of reflect now instead of in 5 years, right? I think it's healthy to do that. So let us know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, turn on your alerts, throw us a like on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah. And fight in the comments too. We'd love to see more comments. That's
brawl in the comments, please. Gloves off. I want to see a fight.
Tell us how much of idiots we are. We love to hear it.
I feed off of your hate.
Well, we also, it's good to hear other people's opinions too. No, I don't want to be in an echo chamber.
No, not at all. Exactly. Listen, guys, if you're listening to this and you just vehemently disagree with everything we said, let us know. That sounds great.
Let us know. Let us know why too. Because we're trying to grow as people too.
And it's like, I think we talked about this earlier in an earlier episode, is like you said, we don't want to be in an echo chamber. None of us should be. We need to be able to have conversations with people that we disagree with. And having a conversation with someone you do agree with, that's fun. But having a conversation where the person you're talking to does not agree with you at all, I think that's more stimulating. So
I agree. And it's unfortunate that we agree on a lot of things. So.
I know we gotta hate each other more, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. I think we're both pretty agreeable people though. So.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. And it depends on how much tequila I've had.
Yeah. Okay. we need to get a drunk episode going.
Oh fuck no. I'm just kidding. We'll do it one day. I did just get this new camera. I'm not sure why it died halfway through, but we could do some IRL stuff with this bad boy. So maybe coming soon TM.
Yeah. Stay tuned, everybody.
Awesome, guys.
Thanks for listening.
What do you think, Mitch? Keep it open?
I think we'll keep it open.
Awesome. See you guys on the next one.
Bye-bye.